What's up, guys? Hope you had a great Christmas. We're back from traveling, and we are coming at you with a full slate of NBA action here on Friday, December 26th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. I'll also give out my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to keep seeing these videos every single day. And let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. No major recap there for Christmas Day. Obviously, some line changes there on the video that came out early. We were on the Spurs and the points now, and that paid off handsomely. We were also on the Warriors. We were also on Dallas to keep things close to the Warriors. That one didn't quite come true, but we also didn't project Anthony Davis to get hurt there in the second quarter, so that was a little bit unfortunate. Cleveland ended up being way healthier for that game than we thought, so that didn't go the way we necessarily thought it would, but the Knicks do still come away with the win. That Houston game, they really laid the wood and got a big win there over the Lakers, and we're still in the first quarter there in the night game between Minnesota and Denver, so we'll see how that one goes. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're kind of back to normal here. Got a pretty big slate to cover here on December 26th, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's get after it, guys. First up, we're going to look at the Miami Heat as they go on the road to take on the Atlanta Hawks. The Heat kind of stumbled going into Christmas. They lost 3 in a row, and they've been really just struggling in general. I think they lost like 8 of their last 9 games, the only win in that stretch coming against the Brooklyn Nets. This is a team that's looked really good over some different stretches this season, but they've had some injuries and stuff knock them down here recently, so we'll see if they can bounce back a little bit. Their last game before Christmas was against the Toronto Raptors, and they lost that one 112-91. Not really a great showing from anyone. Norman Powell was questionable, but did end up playing in that game. Only had 17 points on 17 shots and was 1 of 6 from 3. His long-range shot has kind of deserted him. Jaime Jaquez Jr. did play great, though. 21 points off the bench. Very efficient shooting numbers. They could really use his production. So that all looked very good. But other than that, not a lot of guys having a great time out there. Kel'el Ware getting some more minutes, but having one of those games where he just kind of disappears. 5 points, 9 boards. Not exactly what you're hoping for. Bam only had 9 points in 34 minutes. Like, I know they're doing this new ball movement thing, and that's great, but they need to find a way to help him be more productive. They need his scoring, or they need scoring from somewhere. Now, maybe that will come from Tyler Hero when he is healthy, but right now it still seems like it's pretty much, it's going to be actually 100% no that he is not going to play in this game. Dealing with that toe issue now, I don't want to start throwing around injury prone, but Tyler Hero may be starting to trend that direction at this point in his career. Bam is also on the injury report. He's questionable due to lower back soreness. I pretty much always expect Bam to play in this game. We'll see what happens, but I would be pretty shocked if he's not out there. So we'll see. Other than that, the Heat are healthy and ready to go as they head to Atlanta to take on the Hawks, who also were a very hot team early on and have stumbled here down the stretch. They just got swept in a 2-game series against the Bulls. They lost to the Spurs in a blowout. They lost a kind of competitive one against the Hornets. Not really what the Atlanta Hawks were, doing earlier in the season. They're starting to get a little bit healthier. We did see Trae Young come back, and he's played well. Didn't shoot the ball great from long range in their last game, but neither did Jalen Johnson. It's been interesting. It's been interesting to see what this team has, done, how they're going to adapt to having Trae Young back. They did get kind of crushed on the boards. Their defense didn't look great, but the Bulls, when they're healthy, are kind of a scary team. They get up and down the floor. They make things really tough on their opponents. And in that loss, it was a 3-point loss, but you're not supposed to lose both games. When you play a home-and-home series or, one of those little 2-game sets, usually those get split, and that is not what happened. Also, Ricochet, not looking as good this year as he looked last year. That is a pretty big red flag. So we'll see what happens here for the Hawks. They're relatively healthy, actually basically fully healthy coming in this game. No Porzingis is really messing stuff up for them. He's dealing with that illness again. So yeah, it's been really weird. That's been plaguing him since last season. So they won't have him, but other than that, they should be healthy and ready to go. And that's part of the reason the Hawks are 3.5 or 4-point favorites here playing at home. We've got a total of 243.5. Miami, they are 8-7 against the spread on the road. They are 16-14 to the under, so a slight under team. Atlanta, they are 4-10 against the spread at home this year. They're 18-13 to the over, so a significant over team. I don't have a big lean on the total. It does feel like a really big number to me, so maybe I shade a little bit towards the under, but in terms of a side, guys, I'll definitely take the Heat getting 4 points in this one. Two teams really struggling. I'll take the team that plays better on the road against the team that really struggles against the spread at home. The Trae Young experience hasn't been amazing so far for the Atlanta Hawks. Maybe they're struggling to figure some of stuff out there, and I do think this is a pretty big bounce back spot for the Heat, so I'll take them in the points as a small lean. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Charlotte Hornets going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. The Hornets come in this game 10-20 on the season. They're fresh off a blowout win there over the Wizards. They played some pretty impressive games recently. They did get blown out by the Pistons, but gave the Cavaliers everything they could handle, beat the Hawks, beat the Cavaliers once, played a one-possession game with the Bulls. This has been a different team since they started getting healthy. And in that blowout win over the Wizards, albeit it was the Wizards, so let's not overreact too much, but we are starting to really, really like what we're seeing with LaMelo Ball and Concanople playing together. It's looked really, really good. Brandon Miller coming back has been a big deal as well, don't get me wrong, but really, really liking the combo of Ball and Canople. I mean, it's looked good. The shooting numbers are fantastic. They shot 20 of 50 from 3. That's 40%. Very, very good stuff. Kept things even on the boards. Big plus numbers there for the starters in terms of plus minus. Colin Sexton coming back also gives them a huge energy boost off the bench. Everything is really looking very, very good for the Hornets right now. A lot of positivity here, even though they're, 10 games below 500, things are starting to look up. Now, in terms of an injury report, everybody's healthy and ready to go, except for Kalkbrenner, guys. It's been really, really nice when he's been healthy to have him out there, but that elbow issue is going to keep him out for this game. So that's kind of weird. You would think he could bounce back from something like that a little bit sooner, but turns out that is not going to be the case. So we'll see what the Hornets can do here going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. Now, Orlando is another team that's had their share of issues this year. They're 17-13 on the season. They have won 2 out of their last 3 heading into Christmas, but it has not necessarily been the smoothest of sailing. A 110-106 win there over Portland. That looks good. Definitely doesn't look bad. Bane continuing to maybe be the offensive driving force behind this team, which is really, really weird. Paolo Banchero having to take a back seat is not what I expected. Also, Franz Wagner being down with injury is obviously, pretty unlucky. The bench for this squad is looking very bad, too. I don't know what the answer to fixing that is, but it has not looked great. We've loved what we've seen from Anthony Black when he's on the floor. That's looked great. Wendell Carter Jr.'s even had some good moments. We need a little bit more scoring from Paolo, but when Bane's going nuts out there, he, a pretty high usage guy. So we'll see what they can do in this game. I mean, they are playing at home. That helps. Their injury report looks kind of concerning. I forgot to mention the absence of Jalen Suggs. That's been a big deal for this team. They need him out there. They need his defensive pressure there on the perimeter. Without it, they're a little bit vulnerable out there on the perimeter, and that's a problem in this game for sure. Desmond Bane, not exactly a premium level defender. Franz Wagner missing this time has obviously not helped. He has been ruled out for this game officially, although it sounds like he's, in the arena to potentially be coming back soon. The depth is a bigger and bigger problem. Tristan Da Silva being injured has also not helped dealing with that shoulder issue. He is probable now, so it sounds like he will be out there for this game. And maybe that's part of the reason the Magic are 6.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 231.5. Charlotte, they are 7-8 against the spread on the road. They are 19-11 to the under. That's kind of wild for a Hornets team. Orlando, they are 6-8 against the spread at home. They are 16-14 to the over. In terms of that total of 231.5, I'll lean a bit towards the under. Not a huge, massive lean, but I do think under is reasonable in this spot. In terms of a side, though, I'm going with the underdog once again. Give me the Charlotte Hornets getting 6.5 points. They were playing great unless there's some sort of Christmas hangover in this game. I think they're going to give the Magic everything they could possibly handle. Charlotte has not really struggled on the road in a significant way this season, so I think this is going to be a very, very competitive game down the stretch, and honestly, I'll take the playmaking right now, and this sounds wild, but of Ball, Knoepel, and Miller over what we're getting from the Orlando Magic. Hey guys, hopping here to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We're on a very, very hot run over there on the college basketball side going into the Christmas break, so hopefully we can pick right up where we left off there once that starts back up again. NBA did cash the Spurs there on Christmas Day, so that was very, very nice, and like I said, some bad luck there with Anthony Davis getting injured and the Dallas Mavericks only being able to keep that to a 10-point game. Had him +8 or +8.5, and couldn't quite make that one happen. But lots of good stuff cooking out there on the football side. Lots and lots of stuff on the college football side going on right now with all the college football playoff and bowl season, all that. So it's definitely a great time to get in the action over there at StumpTheSpread.com. So definitely go over there and check out a premium membership. We've got lots of different options over there to get access to our top confidence favorite picks every single day, but you also want to get over there and get in on all the free stuff. We offer free picks every single day under the free picks tab. Very easy, just go over there and click on that tab and see what we've got in there. Also, you got to get over to StumpTheSpread.com and get on that email list, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single day. There will be one email straight to your inbox that'll have at least one free pick in it, oftentimes 2 or 3 free picks. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, WNBA was a big one, UFC is a big one, Tons of great information covered in those emails every single solitary day. So definitely make sure you're getting over there and getting in on that. Cashed a bunch of NFL touchdown props already. It's just been a great time out there on the NFL side. Just in general with those touchdown props that go out in those emails every single week. Definitely a treasure trove of information there. Make sure you're getting on that email list. It's very easy to sign up. Just go to stumpthespread.com and set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address, and you'll get that email straight to your inbox every single day. So make sure you check that out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you see from me here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. And a huge shout out to all our YouTube channel members, guys. Merry Christmas to all of you. We're going to do 3 hoodie giveaways to our YouTube channel members here right now. And those giveaways are going to work the same way they work every single week, except for this time, there's going to be 3 of them. And everybody that watches these videos or has watched these videos on a Monday probably knows how this works because we've been doing these giveaways for a long time. But this time, Merry Christmas, we're going to be doing 3 giveaways. So get pumped, guys. This wheel that you're about to see on screen right now is going to be spun 3 times tonight. So let's go ahead and spin it the first time, see who our first winner of a Christmas Stump the Spread hoodie is going to be. Looks like winner number 1 is going to be Glenn Locklear. Glenn Locklear. Okay, you are winner number 1 here on Christmas. So like I said, guys, we're going to be doing 3 giveaways. So remove that name and spin this wheel again. It looks like winner number 2 coming up here in a hot second. And make sure, become a YouTube channel member. You want to get in on these. Winner number 2 is going to be Lilo Mac. Get down in the comments. Let us know that you see that you won. We will get that hoodie out to you as quick as possible. Let's do 1 more giveaway. Like I said, 3 spins of the wheel here in this video. And let's see who winner number 3, last chance winner number 3 is going to be. Is it going to be Donnie Dixon? It is Donnie Dixon. Donnie Dixon, all you winners, get down in the comments. Let us know that you see that you won one of the Stump the Spread hoodies, and we'll get those hoodies out to you as soon as possible. We do one of these giveaways every single Monday, guys, so definitely make sure you're getting in on that. This one's just happening a little bit later in the week because we were traveling there for Christmas, and we wanted to do 3 anyway, so it gives a little bit of time to build up the anticipation. So definitely, guys, really appreciate all of the YouTube channel members. We're going to get out here doing these giveaways all the time. Also, if you just want to purchase one of these Stump the Spread hoodies, just go over there to stumpthespread.com, click the shop tab, and we have hoodies available for purchase over there. But let's go ahead and dive back in, guys. Let's get back after it. A bunch of games still to cover today. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Toronto Raptors as they go on the road to take on the Washington Wizards. The Raptors come into this game looking pretty good. They're 18-13 on the season. They've had a pretty decent year so far. They're coming off a 112-91 win there over the Heat. They had lost 2 in a row previous to that win, so it hasn't been all rainbows and sunshine, but things are generally headed the right direction for the Raptors. They've also been missing RJ Barrett for quite some time, kind of like lingering knee issue. So we'll see what goes on with that, but Scotty Barnes put up a 27-piece against the Heat in that win the Raptors just had. Looks pretty good. Brandon Ingram, although he had a pretty quiet game in that one, has looked great this season in general. We've loved what we've seen from Emmanuel Quickly. We're liking what we see from Colin Murray-Bowles off the bench. He's looked very good, and just in general, this team has flashed a little bit of depth, some shooting this year. They're very good on the boards. They are capable, not every night necessarily, but they're definitely capable of some very good defense and rebounding. So a lot of stuff pointed in the right direction for the Raptors this season. Health has been an issue, though. Like I said, RJ Barrett has been missing time, still dealing with that knee issue. He has been cleared to participate in on-court activities, so that is a big step in the right direction, but he is definitely not back yet. Jakob Poeltl also been dealing with some stuff. He's dealing with a back issue. He will not be playing in this game in Washington, so that is a little bit concerning. Could definitely use his size, but they've got other options for sure, so we'll see. It all should probably shake out and be okay here. We do see Colin Murray-Bowles dealing with an illness. He's questionable for this game. I tend to think that he will probably end up playing. They are going on the road to take on the Washington Wizards, who are one of the worst teams in the NBA. They've been tanking it out this season. They're 5-23 overall. I mean, they did beat the Grizzlies relatively recently, I guess, but yeah, not a lot headed in the right direction. They got blown out by the Hornets their last time out, and a lot of guys. I mean, it really just seems like CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, guys like that are, just really just trying to, showcase themselves for other teams at this point, and will very likely get moved around the trade deadline, or even when trades are first able to be done for them. So we'll see what happens with that, but not even in love with what we've seen from those guys, although McCollum has had some big breakout games. We'll see how that goes, but not a ton of great stuff on this team in general. Marvin Bagley's had some moments this season. I guess I'll give him a little bit of credit, but overall it's been a little bit rough. I mean, the team's 5-23 overall. They're not exactly killing it. Now the injury report does look pretty good. I'm not too worried about anybody in particular. Corey Kispert, dealing with that hamstring issue, will not play in this game against the Raptors. But other than that, they are healthy and ready to go. And they're getting 8.5 points at home. We've got a total of 228.5 in this game. Toronto's 9-7 against the spread on the road this year. They are 20-11 to the under. That's actually an NBA best to the under. Washington, they're 4-8 against the spread at home this year. They are 16-12 to the over. So in general, in terms of that total, I will lean just slightly towards the under, but no major lean on that, guys. My big lean on this game, I'll just take the Raptors to win this game by double digits. I don't think we're going to see anything all that special from Washington. The only thing that could potentially keep this out of the pinned comment is my concern with McCollum and Chris Middleton really trying to show out and attract interest from other teams, but I think the Raptors are too good, and they'll eventually win this game by double digits. Rolling right along here, we're looking at the Boston Celtics heading to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Celtics are 18-11 on the season. They've been a bit better than everyone expected, which, I mean, hats off to them. Jaylen Brown, a big season from him. Peyton Pritchard has stepped up in a lot of ways this season, but I mean, up and down the roster, honestly, we've seen very good stuff from this team. Gonzalez has been a big spark plug for them, defensively especially. We've liked what we've seen from Derek White, of course. Luka Garza has put in good minutes off the bench when called upon. Sam Hauser seems like he's figuring his shot out again, which is a big step in the right direction. And they're coming off a 95-103 win over the Pacers in a game where they only shot 30% from three. It wasn't necessarily a super efficient Jaylen Brown game, although he did come up with 31 points. Overall, it wasn't their best showing, and they still get a comfortable win. So the Celtics will definitely take that. All the news around Boston right now is will he or won't he? Is Jason Tatum going to come back? And right now, I'd be lying if I said it didn't look like he is eventually going to be coming back this season, which seems a bit insane, but who knows? Also, this team does have some pieces. They could theoretically maybe make some moves. I know Anthony Simons could potentially be moved, something like that. They're pretty healthy right now. Jordan Walsh is on the injury report with an illness, but he's probable for this game. And if you've seen anything that Jordan Walsh has done this season, I mean, I would be flabbergasted if he did not end up playing in this one. So it should be a healthy Celtics squad as they go on the road to take on the Pacers, who at 6-24 on the year have to feel like they're stuck in a nightmare. They knew this was going to be a bad year with Halliburton out, but it's gotten even worse. They've had some other injuries. They definitely miss Obi Toppin, and yeah, it's just basically has turned into a tank it out kind of season for the Indiana Pacers. Now, in their 103-95 loss against Boston before Christmas, Siakam played 37 minutes, had 25 pretty efficient points. You can only ask so much from him. Nembhard played well. Mathurin actually played okay, but this bench is rough, guys. Not a lot of great stuff happened off the bench. James Wiseman, remember him? Warriors drafted him. Yikes. 12 minutes, 0 points, 0-1 from the field, 2 assists, 1 board. I mean, I don't know. Let's get the kid some more run and see what he can do, I guess. But overall, it's just been really rough for this team. It's been bad. It's been really bad. Now we'll see what their injury report looks like, although that has not necessarily saved them this year. Yeah, Ben Shepherd is still out. Isaiah Jackson will not be available for this game. Obi Toppin is still sidelined. Hasn't been a lot of updates on him in the last 2 months. Who knows when they'll even, or if they'll even bring him back. I mean, I assume they'll bring him back this season, but it's been very bleak. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Pacers are getting 8.5 points at home. We've got a total of 220.5. Boston, they're 8-6 against the spread on the road. They're 16-13 to the under. The Pacers are 9-7 against the spread at home. They're 19-11 to that under, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, you look at their last game, it was a very low total, so maybe we want to go ahead and just lean under 220.5. I don't have a huge problem with that. Maybe a little bit of Christmas Day hangover for these guys. I think that's certainly possible, or rust, or whatever you want to say. And if we're going to have a low-scoring game, I do think I have to side with the Pacers and the points, especially if you're playing at home. They've been a pretty freaking good team at home. You also, generally speaking, this season want to back the team. You want to fade the team that wins the first game of these little 2-game mini-series. So give me the Pacers getting 8.5, and give me a look at the under in this game as well. I think both actually have some value. Rolling right along, guys, we've got our first nationally televised game of the day. We've got the Philadelphia 76ers going on the road to take on the Chicago Bulls on Amazon Prime. Now, the 76ers, they come into this game 16-12 on the season. They are fresh off a loss to the Brooklyn Nets. not exactly a great look. And this team's had all kinds of weird injury concerns and all kinds of problems this season and still have managed to keep their heads relatively above water. Now, obviously things didn't look great in that loss to the Nets. Embiid played a bunch in that game, played 31 minutes, had 27 points, putting up his numbers, but also has turned into a bit of a defensive liability. Maxey had a rare, super, super off game in that one. Jared McCain had a terrible shooting night as well. Paul George played relatively well. I think he's probably still not tradable given that contract, but he's actually looking like a functional member of an NBA team. Eric Gordon putting up good minutes off the bench. Andre Drummond looking like a very, very solid backup center option. I would think there's quite a few teams across the league that wouldn't mind having him. But the 76ers played okay in that game and still lost to the Brooklyn Nets. So that is concerning. They're also very banged up coming into this game. Maxey is ready to go. Paul George is reportedly ready to go, but we see guys like Edgecombe, Oubre, Embiid, Quentin Grimes all on the injury report. Now, Edgecombe, he's been great this year. He's dealing with an illness. He's questionable for this game, so we'll see if he is able to make it back. I would say a young guy like that will probably bounce back and be able to play. Oubre, still dealing with that knee, will not play in this game. Embiid, he's questionable due to right knee injury management. Coming off a Christmas break, you would kind of tend to think he would play, but you definitely got to keep an eye on that. Really no way to know that until very close to game time. And Quentin Grimes dealing with an illness. He is questionable as well, but once again, that's a guy that I think is pretty likely to play in this game. Now, they're going on the road to take on a very exciting young team, the Chicago Bulls. Suddenly they got healthy, and all of a sudden they started winning games again. They swept their 2-game series there against the Cavaliers, winning both of that. And then they went into Atlanta and won both games against the Hawks, winning some very close games, 152 to 150 and 126 to 123. But nevertheless, they do come away with those wins. And all of a sudden, the Bulls are looking like the Bulls of the first few games of the season, looking really, really good. Buzelis is playing well, albeit not super heavy minutes, but still playing well. Vujicic is playing well. Kobe White's playing great. We're loving what we're seeing from Giddey. He's putting up casual triple-doubles, like 19 points, 11 boards, 15 assists. Very, very good stuff there. He continues to shoot the ball much, much better from 3 this year. The bench for the Bulls does leave a little bit to be desired, I'm not going to lie, but there's some production out there. Herter, Dosunmu can have good nights. Trey Jones can have good nights. So there's a lot to like about the Bulls. They get out and run. They're an exciting team to watch. And Giddey running the show has looked very, very good. Also, they are fully healthy and ready to go for this game. Not something many teams can say right now. So life is pretty good for the Chicago Bulls. They're 1.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 239.5. The 76ers, though, they are 9-2 against the spread on the road this year. That's an NBA best mark against spread on the road. They're a 500 over-under team. The Bulls, they're 7-6 against spread at home. They are 15-14 to the under this year. So this is a very, very interesting spot. The last time these two teams met, the Bulls got the 113-111 win in a game. Maxey went absolutely ballistic, had 39 points in that game. Embiid did play in that one, so we'll see if we get something similar in this one. No crazy super outlier numbers there for Chicago. So this is a very interesting matchup. I'm going to lean just a bit towards the Bulls here at -1.5 since they're playing at home. Possibility that Embiid doesn't even play in this game, which I don't know how much that really hurts the 76ers overall, but if Maxey has a bad night, it's really hard for the 76ers to win. So giving the Bulls here at -1.5, I think it's a interesting proposition. Next on the docket, we've got the Milwaukee Bucks heading to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. The Bucks, they are 12-18 on the year, having a rough time. All the Giannis trade stuff is getting wildly out of hand. They are coming off that 111-94 win there over the Pacers, but with Giannis apparently severely injured and going to be out kind of indefinitely, I mean, I'm not going to say it 100% looks like he's just trying to get traded and isn't going to come back and play again isn't going to be healthy again until he gets traded. That's hard to say, but it's starting to maybe look a little bit like that. Now, the Bucks are coming off a 111-94 win there over the Pacers. We saw, Porter Jr., Kevin Porter Jr. come back and play really well in that game. He's looked pretty good and pretty much like his old self. Now that he's healthy, 24 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Very efficient numbers there. 23 points off the bench for Ryan Rollins. He's looked excellent this season. Kuzma's having some weird moments that you would have never expected to see. We've got Bobby Portis in the starting lineup. That Miles Turner deal is looking like a disaster, though. I mean, he had a pretty good game by his standards this season, and he played 28 minutes, had 10 points, was 4 of 14 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3, and had 6 boards. Is not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. So we'll see what the Bucks can do here on the road. Their injury report, obviously, no Giannis. Gary Trent Jr. is on there, but generally speaking, this team is healthy, but this is not what this team was supposed to look like for this season. So we'll see what they can do on the road against the Grizzlies. Now, Memphis, they've been all over the place this year as well. They're 14-16 on the season. They're coming off a win over the Jazz. So well played there, but, not exactly the most impressive win in the world. We see Santi Aldama lead the way with 37 points. He went nuts in that game. 13 of 21 from the field, 7 of 13 overall. Obviously, we had no Ja Morant in that game. Shocker that he's back on the bench. Cam Spencer getting heavy minutes there and, being relatively productive. 11 points, 13 assists is not a bad night. He was a +1. The bench looked good. Jock Lyondale looking like he might actually be a real NBA player there coming off the bench. That's obviously a huge step in the right direction. KCP knocking down some shots. A very, very good showing from them, especially going into Utah. Utah not an easy team to face, in Utah, and Memphis played really, really well in that game. So we'll see what they can do. I do feel like the Ja constantly being injured and the team not playing any worse when he's gone is not a great look. He's on the injury report for this game as well. Ja is currently listed as questionable right now, dealing with that ankle issue. So we'll see if he plays. Seems semi-unlikely to me, but I also don't know that it moves the needle for me that much. Cedric Coward dealing with the heel issue is questionable. That is more bigger deal. And Vince Williams Jr. dealing with that knee issue is officially out. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Grizzlies are 5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 226.5. Milwaukee is 6-8 against the spread on the road this year. They are 18-12 to the under. Memphis is 6-8 against the spread at home. They are 19-11 to the under. So just based on those trends, we definitely have to consider under 226.5 in this game. That doesn't seem crazy to me. I'm more than willing to get a little bit invested in that, but better than the total, guys. I will take the Grizzlies here at -5. I think they comfortably take care of business here against a Bucks team. It doesn't scare me too much. There are a lot of guys on this Grizzlies team trying to prove themselves right now. I think this is a good time for them. Whether Ja plays or not, I think they're in great shape in this game. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns. They're heading into New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Now, the Suns are 16-13 on the season. They're coming off that 132-108. I don't want to say they embarrassed the Lakers, but maybe a little bit. It was very, very impressive stuff there. The Dillon Brooks and LeBron feud makes for great television. Not necessarily a huge Dillon Brooks fan or a huge LeBron fan necessarily, but it is exciting television. Now, the Suns really shot the lights out in that win. They shot 41% from three. A big night from Dillon Brooks. Devin Booker played really, really well. Colin Gillespie putting up 16 points, 14 points off the bench, 7 points off the bench. Like, lots of guys chipping in that game. So excellent stuff there. They kept things even on the boards, which is pretty impressive and not something that the Lakers should probably be letting happen. But overall, very, very good stuff there. You got to love it if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. They've been much better than expected by the general public this season. So good looks there from the Suns. Their injury report looks okay. Grayson Allen is on there, though, dealing with that knee issue. Will not be playing in this game as they head into New Orleans. Although, other than that, they are fully healthy and ready to take on the Pelicans. So we'll see what they can do in New Orleans. The Pelicans got on a little bit of a hot streak. Actually won 5 games in a row, beating the Blazers, Bulls, Rockets, Pacers, and Mavs before losing 141-118 at Cleveland. But they're back home for this one. That should be a little bit of a step in the right direction. They've been relatively healthy. That's been nice. Zion's actually been playing basketball. Coming off the bench, playing 21 minutes. Maybe that's what they need to do with him. Maybe they just need to have him go nuts for a very, very short period of time. So he had 26 points in those 21 minutes. Derek Queen played well. Trey Murphy, a bit of a down game from him. But overall, this team does have some talent on it, and it's maybe pointed in the right direction. But without really knowing if Zion is capable of being your, the guy of the future for you, I don't know. It's tough to say what direction the Pelicans should really be heading. But looking at the injury report, still no Zion on the injury report, so that's all good news. Jordan Poole's put up some good performances off the bench. They have been missing Herb Jones, and Poole is on the injury report. Herb Jones will not play in this game due to that ankle issue. He's not ready to come back yet. Jordan Poole, also dealing with the ankle, is questionable for this game. So looking at the numbers here, the Pelicans are getting 3.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 239.5. The Suns are 8-6 against the spread on the road. They're 15-14 to the under. The Pelicans, they are 12-5-1 against the spread at home this year. They are 19-12 to the over. Despite that trend there favoring the Pelicans, I'm going to be leaning a bit towards the Suns. They just play too hard on a night-to-night basis. I feel like they are for sure the deeper team. Even with Zion playing here, I don't really buy into the whole Cleveland thing that much. Give me Phoenix here at -3.5, but this isn't going anywhere near the pinned comment. I really prefer Phoenix as underdogs as opposed to favorites, and the Pelicans have been playing well lately, so this game's going to be mostly a wait-and-see spot for me. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the Detroit Pistons going on the road to take on the Utah Jazz. The Pistons come in this game 24-6 on the season, absolutely killing it. They've won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 8. They just took down the Kings 136-127, albeit a little bit closer of a game than you would have expected them to play in Sacramento, but they do get the work done there in the end. Very good night from Cade, of course, no shock there. Jalen Duren, a very productive day as well. Tobias Harris sighting as also like 24 points in his 29 minutes was excellent. Isaiah Stewart, 16 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and a block off the bench. Excellent numbers for him. Also, big plus numbers for the bench. Jaden Ivey coming up with a plus 15 despite only playing 14 minutes. Excellent work there. They had a good night shooting the ball from 3. Overall, things just looking really good for this Pistons team. They're just cruising there through the East. Everything's kind of headed their way. They've stayed relatively healthy this season, and they are very healthy coming into this game, which is obviously excellent news as they head into Utah to take on the Jazz. Now, Utah at only 10-19 on the season, obviously not killing it, but they've been a tough out for everyone. They're coming off a 9-point loss there against the Grizzlies. Gave the Nuggets some trouble a little bit early on. Lost to the Magic by 1 point earlier. Played an 8-point game against the Lakers. Beat the Mavs. Beat the Grizzlies once too. Like, this team has not been rolling over and playing dead for anyone. Now, in that loss against Memphis, we did not see anywhere close to the full-strength Utah Jazz because there was no Lauri Markkanen in that game. Big numbers from Filipowski, though. He's having a bit of a breakout right now. Ace Bailey putting in some good work and knocking down some threes. Keontae George is having a breakout season for sure. Taylor Hendricks putting up a 20-piece off the bench. All looks very good. And we've liked what we've seen in spot minutes there for Walter Clayton Jr. He's looked maybe not the steal of the draft, but definitely somebody I could see being a usable point guard in the NBA, which is, a pretty big feat at this point with the kind of point guard talent there is in the league right now. So looking at the injury report here for the Jazz, it appears they're going to be fully healthy and ready to go for this game. That means Markkanen's going to be out there. Nurkic is going to be out there. Ace Bailey, Keontae George, everybody ready to go. So including the second unit, which has been pretty decent this year. So maybe a bit of a tough spot here for the Pistons. The Jazz are getting 9.5 points at home. We've got a total of 244.5. Detroit, they're 8-7 against the spread on the road. They are 15-14-1 to the over. Utah, they are 12-5 against the spread playing at home this year. They've been a tough out at home. They're 19-10 to the over with a total of 244.5. I can't get too involved in the total, to be honest, but I do really like the Jazz here getting 9.5 points. You could wait and see if this number potentially goes up. That might be a little bit of a sketchy thing to do, though. It might go down. So go ahead and give me the Jazz here getting 9.5 points. I'm not sure that this is going to be my dog of the day, but it's pretty much for sure going to make the pinned comment. Last but not least here, and in our second Amazon Prime game of the day, we're going to be looking at the Los Angeles Clippers heading into Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Now, the Clippers at 8-21 on the season have been pretty much the biggest disappointment in the NBA. Lots of off-court, off-season stuff swirling around this team and ownership and the coach and everything you can possibly imagine. So it's been a mess. Now, they have won their last 2 games in a row, taking down the Rockets and the Lakers. So that's kind of impressive, although it was not the full-strength Lakers. And against the Rockets, they do get the job done. Kawhi putting up a 40-piece. Like, you don't see that every day from Kawhi. He played really well in that game. Took him 37 minutes to get those 41 points. I don't know how many more 37-minute games Kawhi has in those legs. Harden, a very good night as well. 29 points, 7-14 from the field. Got to the free throw line 13 times, something he has been having a little bit more trouble doing with regularity this season. The bench, though, continues to be pretty much a black hole of a lack of production. Kobe Sanders, 13 points in 13 minutes, is the only reason this bench was able to do anything. Now, it was a very good game out there for the Clippers in general. They get the win. They do a good job in general shooting the ball necessarily, but they're not often going to shoot 54% from 3. Gotta say that. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, we got to check the injury report here for a team this old. They're relatively healthy, although Zubac is listed as out for this game. He had that pretty bad ankle sprain there in that win over the Lakers. Gonna be out for a few weeks here, so that is a big deal for this team. That's gonna mean way more Brook Lopez minutes. That's not a great thing. Now, maybe they could try and go small. We'll see how that works here as they head to Portland to take on the Blazers, who are 12-18 on the year. They did some good work early on. It's been a breakout season for Denny Adjiva, but they've had some rough luck lately, losing the last 2 in a row. A relatively competitive one together against the Pistons and a 4-point game there against the Magic. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. Adjiva is making most of his noise this year at the free throw line. That has to be mentioned, although only 4 free throws in his last game. Shadian Sharp's had some very good games. Caleb Love put up good numbers off the bench in their last one. There's some good pieces on this team, but they need a little bit of time. I'm going to be much more interested to see what this team can do next year when Dame is back and stuff like that than what they're going to be doing necessarily this season. So we'll see what happens here. The injury report is what you would expect. Jeremy Grant's on there. Chris Murray's on there. Robert Williams is on there. And yeah, Jeremy Grant dealing with that Achilles issue will not play in this game. Chris Murray, questionable due to neck soreness. We'll see what happens with that. And Robert Williams III is questionable due to that knee. So we'll see if he's available. The Blazers, they're getting 2.5 points at home in this game. We've got a total of 225.5. The Clippers are 7-9 against the spread on the road. They're basically a 500 over-under team. Portland's at 7-6 against the spread at home, and they are a pretty significant over team with a total of 225.5. I wouldn't fault anyone for looking at over in this game. Seems okay to me. In terms of a side, though, I'm going to take the Clippers -2.5 here. I think it's a pretty good spot for them, despite the fact they're playing on the road. The Blazers are a little bit banged up. Obviously, missing Zubac is a huge deal here for the Clippers, but with the way we've seen Kawhi and Harden playing recently, I think they find a way to win this game by 5 to 10 points the majority of the time. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these games. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. Check out the free picks over there for sure. And definitely check out the premium picks over there at stumpthespread.com. A crazy amount of work from our team of experienced cappers goes into those plays. So definitely want to make sure you're checking those out. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.